Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that's just hovering in the corner of your room in the dark like your life-size Gardevoir. I'm Cody and I'm breathing real heavy.
I'm Sam and I'm even more unsettling. I'm very quiet.
I'm Josh and I'm disappointed in both of you.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in this week. We have a bunch of news, a lot of quick hits and stuff. Not going to tease it here. We're going to make you listen to it later. Got to stretch that out a little.
That intro will make more sense later
on in the show.
Dun, dun,
but
dun.
It's called foreshadowing.
Yeah, we're trying things. We're trying new things here. But let's go ahead and jump into our check'ems.
Check it out!
Did you watch the new Spider-Man?
I did not watch the new Spider-Man. Did you watch the new Spider-Man?
I watched both episodes of the new Spider-Man and I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, good. Is it modern day set or is it, because I know it looks like it's in like the 60s.
It's modern day.
It's modern day though. Okay, well, that's cool. That's still cool.
I'm not sure how I feel with like what the voice actor said. What Peter Parker's voice actor said.
He's probably a dink.
He said a stupid thing, but
airtime that it needs.
It's not the dumbest thing, but it's still not.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's not great. Anyway, let's move off of that. But the show itself is pretty good. Okay, well, very cool. Very cool. Josh, you weren't here last week. How was your trip to the magical realm of Hyrule?
A lot of broken pots.
Broken pots,
A lot of broken pots. I don't know what happened. They're just busted everywhere. It's like these shopkeepers must have insane insurance.
They must. Oh, speaking of which, I've been going through looking at like ROM hacks of old Ocarina of Time. Someone made one where they removed all weaponry, but you spawn in 1,000,000 pots in every level with the plan, pick up the pot, throw it at the enemy. That's all you can do.
That sounds good.
Can you imagine going to the final boss with Ganon and you're just whipping pots at a giant pig man?
That's called Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, kind of.
And here comes Princess Zelda with the steel chair.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of wild that there was never an item in Zelda that generates pots.
Yeah. But no, Josh, you were gone. You're going to do a check'em.
Okay.
Do it.
Oh, God, I have such a list because I've been watching all kinds of stuff.
Do you want to do the one that we can also talk about since we watched the first? Yeah.
Sure. So there's a new anime out.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise.
Always.
Yeah.
It's got the dumbest title because all these stupid isekai animes have the dumbest titles anymore.
Yeah, go for it.
The Red Ranger becomes an adventure in another world.
That's not even that long of a
it's
title.
Not that bad
in comparison to other ones I've seen.
It definitely has. So, stated on the show multiple times throughout the years, I am not much of an anime guy. But I like this one. However, I hate that naming convention with a passion, and it makes me knee-jerk makes me not want to engage with it because it's awful. It's almost like the show, is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon?
Oh, high dive, you lame jerk.
Yeah.
But
that time I was reincarnated as a vending machine in magical lands or whatever it's called.
I feel like
that anime is better than the Red Ranger one.
Oh yeah, I bet it is.
It actually wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I watched maybe 4 or 5 episodes of it, and it at least is animated better.
Sure.
I feel like that time I was reincarnated as a slime is what started the naming conventions.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them were also
light novels was where it first started.
Well, that too. Yeah, there were a lot that were, they're like short things in like books.
Isekais used to have like,
books.
Just kind of more just basic names.
Yeah.
Like Dot Hack or like Doc Hassign or Escaflowne or I like Escaflowne, thank you.
I've tried a couple episodes of Escaflowne. Jordan, guest of the show, Jordan Taylor, she remembers that show fondly as the one big anime that she watched growing up. We tried to watch a couple episodes, and she, other than Giant Robot, she did not remember a single thing about it.
I mostly remember the one guy that gets a scar on his face, and he's like, cheek. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
So tell me about the Red Ranger and his adventure in another world.
we've made it, well known on the show before that Sam and I are big fans of Power Rangers and
Cooties, you've watched some of
Yeah,
those as well.
I
And they're
don't not
fine.
like them. Yeah, they're fun.
fine. Yeah.
and Japanese Sentai.
Yes.
The origin of Power Rangers.
Yep.
So there's this in the anime, as its name stated, the Red Ranger
From a Super Sentai team.
from a Super Sentai team in the modern day gets sent to a fantasy magic / video game kind of world.
Yeah.
Because there's the whole thing about, they got little video game pop-ups all the time and whatnot. That's another popular trope in isekai animes.
Did they do a stat screen in this one?
Yes.
Oh, I hate it when they do that.
Sam hasn't gotten there yet, but yes, there
I
is a
hate
thing
it.
about...
There is one. Okay.
Yeah.
I hate it when
it's
they
a funny.
do that.
There's a funny joke with it though, because
Okay.
Red's is way different than everybody's.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
It looks like a character info sheet from like either a toy or
okay. That's
something.
a good. You know what? That's a good gag. So this show, I watched the first episode. There's 3 out, and I know Josh, you've
Yes.
watched all 3. It's not serious at all. It is
Nope.
absolutely poking fun at both genres, both the Super Sentai genre, because they call out almost every single trope. The explosions in the background, the why do you call out the names of all your weapons,
and
all
your
this-
attacks.
Why is there an announcer and why is he so excited?
Yeah, that's a great line.
I like that
yeah.
line.
Yeah, but it's also putting like a button on like JRPGs, because as much as he is like I'm going to save the day with the power of friendship, the magician, the person that he teams up with initially from the fantasy world, she is straight up just JRPG first party member.
Oh yeah,
G type character
slash love interest.
Well, yeah, that's going to be a thing probably.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. This is your check-in, dude. Go for it. Go for it.
In the first episode, the Sentai team is fighting the final boss of their big villain, the Breakup King. Yeah, because the whole thing with their Sentai
Just
team.
makes me think of the Pull-Out King.
The pull-out. Yeah.
From Portlandia. Who's talking about a couch?
Yeah. They're talking about a couch.
Oh man,
Yep.
I miss Portlandia. I haven't watched that in years. So they're having their big battle with the big boss of their enemy.
The Sentai is relationship themed.
Yes.
Everybody's got to be best friends, and also all of their transformation trinkets are band-aids,
Yes,
which is great.
yeah, all their goofy stuff is Band-Aid, and he has like a little Band-Aid box on his hip that has all his
hip.
little tokens in it or whatever.
Yeah.
kind of like the Ranger keys from like Gokaiger.
Yes, very much so. This has very strong Gokaiger energy.
Oh.
No, Gokaiger and Zenkaiger, the one with the robots that
Yes.
pop in.
Yes,
with with one human and 4 robots on the team.
Yeah, that one was a good one. I liked that
Good
one.
season, yeah.
Anyway, so in a moment of ultimate sacrifice, the Red Ranger goes to defeat the big boss, and instead of dying and going to the afterlife, he goes to a fantasy world.
We don't know if he's super dead. It could be that my theory is the Breaker King and the Breakup Gang are
the relationship enders.
the
That's what
relationship enders. Yeah, they are either partially from or are also trying to take over the fantasy realm, and there was the final blast somehow
opened a portal or
opened
whatever.
a portal. I don't think he's dead.
Well, no, I don't think he's dead either. I really don't.
Yeah, it's not like he got hit by a truck.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's not like Truck Coon came
Yeah.
for him,
Yeah.
or like in Reincarnated as a Slime, where he gets stabbed by a street thug
oh sure,
and
yeah,
bleeds out on the sidewalk.
yeah.
But
But anyway, he comes to this
to fantasy world.
He's been there 6 months by the time the show gets started in earnest.
Yes.
And he's just been an adventurer.
Yep. But he has all his powers, all his gadgets, everything, even his giant robots.
I was going to say he gets some of the giant robots.
Not even just his personal robot, but the whole Megazord.
He's still connected to the Morphin grid somehow.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the first time he summons it, and it was like, what is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man, the fact that everyone calls out his BS, and it's hilarious every time.
Well, because he's always so excited about friendship and bonds and
I know.
saving the day.
He's like Kamen Rider Forze, and I love it because I loved Kamen Rider Forze.
Forze's great. Yep.
Forze is probably still one of my... between Forze and Gaim, they're probably my two of my favorite Kamen Riders.
Kamen Rider Forze, space and best friends. I'm gonna punch you until you're best friends with me.
Exactly.
I'm gonna punch the demon out of you, and then you're gonna become my best friend. That's that show.
I mean, it worked with Goku and Vegeta.
Well, sure. Yeah, good point. So anyway, in review of the show, we're just watching the first episode. I thought it was pretty good. The animation's kind of rough.
Yeah, the animation is very
not good.
What, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX or
It's
whatever?
very for kids TV.
Oh,
It's very much early 2000s Saturday morning anime.
Even the color is bad. It looks washed out.
It's not awesome.
Especially with his entire thing being his hair, his jacket, everything is just red.
He looks like someone who from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Exactly.
Or something like that.
And it's got like that 2000s anime shine.
Yes.
Like everybody's got weird highlights on everything.
Yeah, it looks like an anime that was made when they were just trying to figure out how to do things digitally.
Yes. There are some CG like monsters whenever it goes into the big robot, basically.
Yeah, the big robot and some of the other stuff.
The CG was dog water.
Oh, it was not very good.
But I can look past it for the good jokes.
Oh, it's very good.
And the poking the fun at both types of franchises.
It works. The
genres.
The bad animation and stuff works because it's a parody.
Yes.
I think if they were trying to take it even a little bit serious.
I think that's why I like it so much because it like, because I love parody anime. Like One Punch Man is one of my favorite things ever.
Well, that's good stuff. Yeah.
It's like Japanese The Tick.
It kind of is.
Yeah. One Punch Man?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I love it, because every enemy he runs into wants to do the whole explaining their whole backstory spiel, and he's like, no. Black Panther meme. We don't do that here.
Yeah.
20 words or less.
Yeah.
But with Red Ranger and Another His Adventure it's so goofy and so fun. Mm-hmm. And like every time he transforms, he does the pose and his whole title and his ambitions, and he just lists everything, and everyone's just like, why are you like this? Oh man.
But then the magician was fighting, and she calls out her spells just as much as he calls out his stuff.
Yeah, I know,
but they don't comment on that too much.
No, because that's normal for their world.
Sure.
But there's you're not there yet, but there's a pretty good gag where they use like the giant team weapon.
Oh yeah.
He summons the giant team weapon, and then after they beat the monster, it's him, the magician, and a couple other people they picked up. Mm-hmm. And when the monster falls down and blows up or whatever, they're all doing a pose, and one of the guys is like, why are we posing like this?
It reminds me a lot, at least in the parody sense, of Kampai Senshi After V.
Oh yeah, where they're drinking,
the live action series that
they hang out like at a bar or whatever.
There's no action at all. They're all adult, rangers that have been there for a while.
It's always post battle,
and it's post battle. They meet up at the bar, and they basically make fun of all the tropes of
like they're talking
Power
about their
Rangers.
day, or they're talking about their battle or whatever.
Mm-hmm. The Blue Ranger said, I was fighting and I saw a zipper. I've looked inside it once. I could not explain what I saw.
Yeah, that was a good.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another thing in Ranger Another World. There's a flashback where he's talking to his actual team.
Yeah.
And they continue the trope of the Blue Ranger always being the smart one.
The smart one, sure.
And they talk about like, I don't know, we don't know how we're gonna beat this thing. And he's like, you've always come up with the great ideas before. You know, it's like it's all the tropes are there.
Yeah.
All of them are there. And,
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm always about it.
There was that other anime that came out recently that was like Sentai themed too. That Go Loser Ranger.
Go Loser Ranger.
Go Loser Ranger.
Was that any good?
I haven't watched it yet.
I've watched clips of it.
I've seen clips, and it seems pretty good.
That one's kind of the reverse, where you have
that one is more of a serious one.
Yeah, well, where you have your Ranger team, but they're actually jerks.
they're secret bad guys or secret jerks, and you're the protagonist of the series is essentially a putty, one of the nameless mooks.
He's a nameless grunt. And part of that series is the whole thing is they beat the big villain, but to keep everyone thinking they're doing their job or they're performative or whatever, they force all the defeated enemies or whatever to continue making mock battles or whatever.
Right, because the enemies have like pretty crazy regenerative abilities, so when they blow them up they don't die, so they just basically keep them around to fight every week.
Yeah, and that's how they make their money. That's how they stay popular. It's how they stay relevant.
How they control society.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's actually exactly what it is. It's how they control society.
Yeah.
And then the one guy's like, well, no, I don't like this, or we're going to change this.
And the evil Red Ranger, the big bad of that season, was voiced by, I am not sure what his Jonas Scott, is that the Beastars Legoshi? The big wolf guy from
that's Legoshi. Yeah,
he does the voice of the evil Red Ranger.
Okay.
Speaking of voice actors, the last thing I'll mention about the Red Ranger and another whatever, I can't be bothered to say the whole name. I
haven't been for the last couple minutes.
So the Red Ranger is a relatively new voice actor, but the 4 members on his team back in the real world are all former Sentai actors.
Oh, okay.
Yep. In fact, the Pink was the Pink Deca Ranger.
Oh, okay.
Back 15-ish years ago. 15, 20 years ago.
Deca Ranger.
Cops.
Oh, is that the one that became SPD?
Yes.
So it had, Doggy Kruger. Doggy Kruger.
Yep. Yep, the Anubin.
Yeah,
because he's a big dog spaceman.
Yeah, he's a big dog spaceman. Yep. He had a really cool suit, though. Like, not his animal suit, but like his actual
Ranger
Ranger
100.
Suit.
Yeah.
His Ranger suit.
Yeah.
Like with the stupid ears on the helmet.
Yep. Yep.
I did. He looked like a Batman Power Ranger, and I kind of liked it.
Really kind of did, yeah. Cody, do you have another one?
I just want Dan to Dan and Ranma to come back.
I know.
Like,
I hate the fact that I have to wait for July to watch Dan to Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you watched the new Ranma?
I've watched a couple episodes. I'm not caught up.
It's very good.
It is more accurate to the manga, and I am about that a lot. Plus, I like Rumiko Takahashi's work. And I'll watch anything she makes.
The animation in has like a pop art style on top of it, which is also kind of calls back to the manga.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
It looks really good. It's really...
It's solid.
Well done.
It's super solid.
I like anime that they go outside of the standard animation styles. Like Fulukuli was I actually dug that
about
one.
500 different styles.
It has a million, and it keeps flipping. And
now there's new Fully Cooley series. Series
all looks like hot garbage.
It doesn't look as good. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it was that one season and that's it.
Yeah,
the series is like 4 episodes, right?
The original Fully Cooley OVA or whatever.
Yeah, it's
like OVA was so good.
Yeah. I tried to watch some of the later ones and like it was so mid. Like it wasn't
doesn't have the heart of the original.
It wasn't like offensively bad, but it also wasn't good. And I just felt like this doesn't need to exist, and I'm not going to partake in it any longer. Like
sure.
It's like Dead Leaves. Dead Leaves is another one that has a really interesting, weird art style.
I think it's by some of the same people.
Yeah, I think it is too. I think that's the whole reason I originally watched Dead Leaves.
Yeah, same.
Well, even JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I mean, its animation it's weird.
Yeah, it has its own look.
It's very much its own look.
And the fact that when another series makes a JoJo reference and they mimic the art style, everyone knows that's a JoJo.
That's a JoJo.
Overly designed faces,
very angular,
and everyone is a 7-foot male model, essentially.
I have been going back and rewatching JoJo.
Yeah.
I'm on Young Joseph right now.
Oh, okay. So is that the second half of the first season, or is that the second?
It's
season?
Battle Tendency.
Tendency.
Yeah, with the Pillar Men.
That's right. Because
Cars and Wamu.
Oh, that's some good stuff. Those are good episodes.
Because the next one is Stardust Crusader, the one everyone knows.
Yeah, everyone knows Stardust Crusaders.
Yep.
Of course, Stardust Crusaders was the one that had an OVA back in the day,
and it wasn't very good.
Nope.
Most JoJo video games are Stardust Crusader as well. There was a really, really good Capcom fighting game that came out.
Are you talking about the Arena Fighter one?
No, I'm talking about
it's a
2D fighter. That what was it? Capcom?
Prime
or
Capcom.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Prime Capcom stuff.
Yeah, because there was a Capcom one, and then there's a the Guilty Gear guys, Arc System. There was an Arc System one as well that was also really nice.
The only one I've ever played is the 3D Arena one.
It's bad. It's not
very good.
No.
Yeah.
It's free on PlayStation Plus now, though.
Now they have, I will say, they've updated it quite a bit. It's much better than it was initially. It was barely playable when it first came out.
I think it came out in, like, what, 2018?
Yeah. It was rough back then, but it's gotten better. It's still not a good game.
No.
The camera shift is bad.
Oh, yeah, it's so bad. I hate it.
Yep.
But if you ever want to have, like, weird dialogues between, like, Dio and Diavolo or something, you can do it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They're like, what if we made Power Stone with JoJo's and it's bad?
Pretty much.
Oh, man. I forgot they're making either they're remastering Power Stone.
It is already out. It was part of the... No, it's not. It's the next Capcom Fighting...
Yeah.
Right.
collection.
Yeah.
Power Stone 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched the... speaking of animes, have you ever watched the Power Stone anime?
I think I watched a couple episodes way back in the day.
But it does have... It's one of those animes with a unique look.
A unique look, but it also has the feeling of a Saturday morning for kids. Yeah.
Which is kind of what they were going
And
for with the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's accurate. That's true.
I would love it if they were... I mean, they're never going to now because it's a dead series, but do you remember the fighting game Evil Zone, the one-button fighter for PlayStation?
The super anime one.
Yeah, and the whole thing was each character was like the main character of their own show. So there was the police cop robot man, and there was the card captor essentially, and there was a ninja girl from like a ninja series or whatever.
They did a big tournament of it at AGDQ.
Oh, they did.
SGDQ last year.
Okay, yeah.
And like the way it's balanced or not really.
It's not balanced.
There's like 2 characters that are viable.
Yeah, it's really not. Yeah.
But it was really fun to watch them play it at the ridiculous level that
I bet
they play it at.
Oh, it's being a one button and tilt stick only fighter. It can get pretty wild. Yeah.
I've been playing the crap out of the original Dragon Age for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just I saw it on my Steam list, and I'm like, I never finished that. So I've been like mainlining it.
It's a solid game. I really liked it.
It is. It's really good. It has really, really nice, really cool story and really unique like world and magic system.
Plus, I really like the character creation was good, and you're not pigeonholed into being fantasy shepherd.
Yeah.
You can make your character.
Yeah,
you pick your backstory, you pick your race, and your
and it starts differently depending on what
you pick.
Which I was a cloistered mage, and you got to do a little trial and a whole bunch of cool stuff at the beginning.
Yeah.
And Morrigan is such a great character. I love her so much.
She's got 2 amazing parts of her personality.
Her dry wit and sarcastic charm.
That's for After
Morrigan
Dark.
is an angry, stinky swamp witch.
Nice.
Yeah, and then she becomes like the villain of like the second DLC.
I haven't played. Well, I've played some of the DLC because it's just haphazardly thrown in everywhere.
Oh, sure.
And it's hard to tell what is DLC content and what isn't. Like, I picked up a party member that is just entirely DLC. He's the big stone golem man.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah. He was part of he was back in when Dragon Age Origins first came out on the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era. He was like a day one copy, like bonus code or something.
Oh, back when they used to do that to try and curb rental and like GameFly.
Yeah.
One of the Batman games cut a bunch of Catwoman stuff out, and you had to have the code for it, or pay $15.
I think that was Arkham City.
Yeah, I got it on GameFly, and I think I paid the $15 for the stupid for a game I don't even have anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I paid for over the years that I don't do anymore.
Speaking of game rentals, I did have this thought at work the other day. Well, first off, do you remember video rental stores?
Obviously.
Do you remember Blockbuster? Do you remember?
Oh, yes.
I mean, there's a good swath of people that are not children now that really don't remember those things. The mom and pop stuff. I know, Marion. We always went to Hollywood Video there on the North End. Well, it's right across from where Mega Moose is now.
Yeah, because you lived. Yeah,
lived relatively close.
Yeah. You lived on the north side. You used to live on the north side of town.
Country.
Yeah,
coming in. Yeah. Anyway, do you guys remember renting games? And what was the one you would go back to because I know for some reason I was obsessed with 2 games: Virtual Bart, the second Simpsons one, which is not very good.
No.
It's actually really bad, but I rented it multiple times trying to get through it. And
The other Simpsons one is better, and it's still not that good.
yeah, Bart's Nightmare.
Yeah.
And the other one was a fighting game, World Heroes.
Oh,
the one where Captain Kidd was the Ryu, and he threw ethereal sharks as like his fireballs and stuff. I rented those 2 games more than just about anything else.
Oh, let me think here. I rented Clay Fighter.
Oh, the 64 version or the original?
The original.
The original. I had that one growing up. That was a good one.
I rented Clay Fighter a lot from Blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
But when I lived out past Big Island, out in the middle of literally nowhere,
Mm-hmm.
there's a little convenience store shop in the middle of Big Island.
Are you talking Al's?
I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Al's
You
Country
talk
Mar-
about Al's?
You talk about Al's? Al's Country Market. They do really good pizza out there as well.
He's still there, but in the back,
Yeah.
he used to rent videos and NES games.
Right.
And I remember renting the Ren and Stimpy game.
Okay.
On
I'm
the
sorry.
on the NES,
Yeah.
and I tried playing through that, and it was terrible. But for some reason, I kept renting it.
This is Ren and Stimpy. I had the Ren and Stimpy Game Boy game.
Oh, nice.
Space Madness theme. It was awful.
nice.
Yeah.
And but it was before the time I understood that things could be bad.
Oh, sure.
I just thought, man, this game is really hard.
You're right.
It's like, no, it's bad.
yeah. What? Okay. How about this? What's the worst game you've ever rented? I know back when the Marion Public Library used to rent games.
Oh yeah.
I rented the Wizard of Oz Super Nintendo,
Oh.
and there was no game to that game. It was, I mean, there were levels and you would wander through, but it was very much baby's first platformer, and it was just rotten.
I think maybe I rented Rise of the Robots once.
Oh, that's the worst fighting game of all time.
Yeah. Where there's one character and it's just like a blue naked robot.
A man. Yeah. He looks like an unmorphed T2000 or T1000.
T1000. Yeah. Look kind of like Pepsi Man without the flavor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Pepsi Man.
The Pepsi Man on the PS1.
I feel like Link to the Past was one I went back to a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because we used to rent games from Dave's Video out there where the hills used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dave's Video.
They had a whole wall of Super Nintendo games.
They
had
did.
so many Super Nintendo games.
Yeah, Dave's Video. I forgot all about them.
You could even rent rent Lethal Enforcers with the blue gun.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Isn't it kind of wild that Dave's Video, the physical building, is the only thing that's left from the old Hills
Yeah.
Ames thing?
And now it's where you go to pick up your Goodwill auctions.
Oh, is that where you
Yeah.
pick them
Yeah,
up? Okay.
Yeah, because it used to be a smoke shop.
It
And
was
now
a smoke shop,
And now it's
yeah.
in the old Fahey Bank just past
Oh,
the
is that
mall.
what? Okay, is that what it was? Okay.
Very narrow casting at the moment.
Hey,
but
you know what? That's fine. But okay, yeah, because I remember going. I loved that Hills and Ames.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Oh,
great.
Yeah, when it was a Hills, oh, man, we would go shopping there all the time because that was basically like our Target.
Yeah, it really was.
Between that and like the Kmart
Yeah.
where
All I
TJ
remember
Maxx
about
is
Hills
now.
is the smell of popcorn.
Yeah, because you would
Yep.
walk in because there was like a concession stand right when you walked in. And that was actually my original point was every time we went there shopping, me and my sister would beg my mom, hey, since we're shopping, can we get slushies? Because at the time, it was the only place you could get an actual
Good
icy
slushies.
slushy.
Yeah.
And we wanted that red cherry
No,
icy slushy.
Not that slush puppy bull crap.
Yeah. No, it was actual icy with the bear. It wasn't.
Icy with the polar bear. Yeah.
I feel like slush puppy doesn't exist anymore.
Oh,
I haven't
no.
seen that in a long time.
Yeah. No.
Those ones are
No.
really wet. Like there's a lot of syrup in those slush puppy ones.
Yeah, a lot of syrup and not enough ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slushy, great. Shaved ice, no thank you.
Gross.
Slurpees are good though.
Yeah.
Slurpees are pretty good.
Yeah.
They hit a really good ratio of liquid to ice.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
If the machine's working.
Yeah.
If the machine.
Because
That's
when
true.
I go into my local Speedway all the time, it seems like the one flavor I want is never working.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
God, do you remember when Burger King first had like Mountain Dew slushies?
Oh yeah, yeah. I get those all the
A
time.
good frozen Coke is good.
Sure. Yeah, frozen Coke is very good. I agree.
Well, this has been a walk down memory lane.
Hey,
for us local people.
That's awesome. You know what? Sometimes you gotta do some local talk.
Oh yeah,
you gotta do some local talk sometimes.
Let's talk about Hill's department store.
Yeah, at least once a year, you got to think about Hills and
Or the hate-
and
or the-
now that it's a big empty lot with nothing there.
Nope, it's a lot of cracked pavement and weird plants.
Yeah,
And place to pick up your Goodwill. Oh, that's today's
Your
video.
Goodwill auctions,
Pick up
yeah.
your Goodwill auctions.
Have you gotten your tick figures yet?
it will. I will know in about an hour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I was bidding on a pile of vintage Nintendo toys.
Oh, yeah?
There was like a plastic, like a wind-up Link that walked, and
Oh,
little
I remember-
plastic Little Mac.
A Little Mac, really?
I went up to like $60, but it ended up going for like 100 and some.
Oof.
I'm not surprised because they were like the super vintage like Nintendo stuff.
Yeah. Last I checked, those Tick action figures were still at $12.
Nice.
And I was the high bidder. I'm not going over 20.
You gotta
I'm not
get that-
I'm not going to go nuts. But that
You
dinosaur
gotta get that
Neil,
dinosaur Neil.
yeah, they barely made any toys about with dinosaur
That's
Neil.
what when Samantha showed it to me. The first thing I said is that dinosaur Neil.
All right, so hey, let's go ahead and switch gears, switch into our news.
News mode.
We weren't transforming. That was my bones popping. Yeah.
Wet bones.
Just, oh,
Can you imagine like an organic transformer?
man.
David Cronenberg's organic transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Humans in disguise. They turn into meat cars.
No,
Ew.
Optimus Prime transforms into a truck driver. Like he's a giant robot that shrinks down and like contorts into this awful
He
truck
turns
driver.
turns into a prime rib. It's
Yeah,
Optimus
that's-
Prime rib.
Optimus Prime
I was
rib.
gonna make that joke too.
Oh god. All right, so yeah, let's.
Wet meat transformers. This is your episode
There's
title.
the episode title. Yeah.
Wet meat trans. Reminds me of that time. I think it was like, I don't remember if it was Lady Gaga or Gwen Stefani wore like a meat dress.
Yeah,
to
that
some,
was
It
Gaga.
was Lady Gaga.
like to some award thing.
Yeah.
They
Before.
all turn into like the Existence game console from that
Yeah.
Cronenberg movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
eggs extends.
Existence.
It's pronounced Existence.
Is it
But
really?
it's
That sounds like ED medication.
All right, so before we jump into the news that we have, I do want to take a couple minutes or a minute or two. Indiana Comic-Con is coming up here in about a month and a half. And
Nice.
here in the upcoming weeks, we are going to do an interview like we do every year with the fine folks that do it. But I just want to kind of run through some of their celebrities.
Oh, the guest list?
The guest list, because they're, cons. That's
That's a
other
big...
than going to the con, looking to see what celebrities are making the rounds. There are some folks that sometimes they get really big names.
Oh, yeah.
And the biggest names this year, Marissa Tomei is
Wow.
going to be there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kellen Goff, who I think is Freddy, the voice of Freddy Fazbear from the movies, I think. At least that's what his picture is. We have Dean Cain.
It would have to be from the movies because the game.
Yeah,
is
the
just
games don't
one,
have-
This is the one dude.
That's probably it.
Gregory.
Yeah, but no. Dean Cain, Marissa Tomei, Ernie Hudson, Rainn Wilson,
Huh.
Katie Seagal.
Oh, Katie Seagal. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Leela.
Or the mom from Married with Children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
William Shatner, Katie Sackhoff, Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be there.
That's kind of a
Kingpin.
big.
That's a big one.
It is a big one.
Wayne Knight. You can get a signed
Oh.
picture of Flat Newman from Space Jam.
Or Dennis Nedry from
Dennis
Jurassic
Nedry.
Park.
Still, I think Flat Newman is
Yeah,
the
that-
way to go.
yeah, that's a
when
good
he's like squished down like a
Yeah.
cartoon. Sonequa Martin Green. She was in the Star Trek
Discovery.
Discovery. She's the main from that.
Michael Burnham.
Lou
Bo
Diamond.
Burnham's sister.
Yes. Yep. That's it. Yeah. Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh, okay. That's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Yep. Going down the list.
Any good anime
Well, before that, we from Walking Dead, Carl. Yeah. Coral. We have Marta Zvedik, who I believe is also, I think she was one of the voices, the wolf lady.
Oh, from
Friday.
Beastars?
No.
Oh.
Five Nights at...
Oh.
I should have said wolf lady robot.
Okay.
Guitarist.
Yeah, Roxy.
Roxy.
I don't know why I know that.
We have Damon Clark, who is Cell in the new Dragon Balls.
Cell.
Yeah, we have Zach Aguilar.
That sounds familiar.
Brianna Knickerbocker. Anika Nani Rose, who was in Princess and the Frog. That's the Tiana
Oh,
from
cool.
that. So that's pretty cool.
That's a Disney pool. That's a good one.
That's a Disney one. Stephanie Young.
That sounds
super
Nico
fun.
Robin. That's Nico Robin.
You know what? Yes, that's a picture. That's one I recognize. We have Erica Schroeder. I think that's Luffy.
No.
Well, then why is
Luffy's Colleen Clinkenbeard.
Well, then why is there a Luffy?
Huh, there is.
There is a Luffy.
But she's not Luffy.
Maybe she's older Luffy.
All right, we're digging deeper. We're clicking on her bio here. We have she was the voice of Blaze the Cat.
Okay.
Luffy in the One Piece 4 Kids dub.
Like I said,
Yo ho ho! She took a bite of gum gum.
that's the old one.
You know what is the worst though? And that is Sanji. Have you heard Sanji's voice?
It's pretty rough.
It's so bad.
It's pretty rough.
In the 4 Kids one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is rough.
Because they tried to make him sound like a gangster for some reason.
Yeah. Paige O'Hara.
Okay.
Belle.
Yeah, it took me a second.
Beauty and
Belle.
the Beast Belle. Yeah. Okay, Josh. I'm going to say there are Power Rangers at this one.
Okay.
I want you to guess. Here, I'm going to actually count up how many we have. We have 7 Rangers. You're going to get 4 out of the 7. I guarantee you're going to get at least 4 out of the 7.
Please tell me that J.C. David Frank's daughter is not one of them.
No, she is not. These are actual Rangers
Okay.
and not people claiming, holding on to what they have left.
Their father's legacy.
Yeah, exactly. So who are the Rangers that are there?
Rocky?
Steve Cardenas.
Okay.
Nice guy.
Okay.
Met him.
Okay.
Super nice guy,
All right.
actually. Yeah.
Come
Come on, you got
Danny
got
Young
this.
Bosch?
No.
Johnny Young Bosch.
Johnny Young
Okay.
Bosch, not there.
Okay.
Nope. You get 3 strikes.
Okay.
Okay, so that's strike 1. I'm going to tell you there are, including Rocky, there are 4 Mighty Morphin or at some point Mighty Morphin. Well, no, I take that back. 3 Mighty Morphin, 1 Zeo, 1 what is that? In Space, and 1 Turbo, and 1 Time Ranger actually. So there's 8.
Well, I feel like the bonus ranger from Time Force is always there.
Wrong.
The
Nope.
other red?
No, he's not there this time.
Okay.
Which is weird. Come on, guess some names here, bud. We got to get through this.
I'm terrible at this. Second yellow.
Karen Ashley. Yes.
Okay.
Boom. Got one.
All right.
Owes me $20.
Right.
You should go and be like, "Where's my movie?" Or give me a 20.
I've thought about it, but it's why her picture's not on the Power Rangers Wall of Fame here in the office. I'll have to fix that someday.
Jones?
But no Walter Jones. Okay, you got one more guess before I just read them. You can get at least 2 more of these. Who are Rangers that always show up to every con?
I don't know. I don't remember half of the other ones outside of Mighty Morphin.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and read them then.
Yeah.
So we got Karen Ashley.
Uh-huh.
We got Steve Cardenas. The power duo of Catherine Sutherland and Nakia Burrise. Pink Ranger 2 and Zeo Yellow.
I was gonna say pink too.
Every time
Yep.
you say Cardenas, it makes me want Carnitas
Yeah.
really bad.
I really don't care for carnitas.
I'm okay with it. I prefer the Sofritas.
That's a you problem.
Well, that's a me problem. That's true.
I do like sofaritas though. I do like sofaritas.
Okay, we have Chris Kamen Lee, who was the red in space. He was
Oh yeah, he was the one that had the ship, and he was the one that had to kill Zordon.
with the white stripe in his hair. He
Yeah.
was Andros.
Yeah,
Andros. I had to look up the name.
I think he was like the first, like actual alien ranger.
Nope. You're forgetting Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers.
Or no, I meant like on a main
Main?
team.
depending on how you list seasons, Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers is its own 10-episode season.
And
technically.
and it did come out before
They were
Space.
Aquatarians. They had to slurp water every 5 hours or they died.
Yeah, and
which is not great on Earth.
And they had those stupid
They're from a water
prosthetics on their
planet.
Well, I
face.
feel
Yeah.
like if I don't drink water every 5 hours, I might
But
die
I mean, it's like a
too.
lot of water. It's like there was an episode where they had to stop fighting to jump in a
Yeah, they're like
fountain.
They're like
because
alien,
they
they're
were
like they're
dehydrated.
They're like alien fish people.
Yeah.
That Erica Schroeder, 4Kids Luffy, is Nurse Joy from Pokemon.
Oh well, there you go. That's a much more recognizable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we have Blake Foster. Who is Blake Foster, Josh?
I don't know who Blake Foster is.
He is the child from Turbo Ranger. He is Child Blue. So this is a man that is our age.
Oh.
That was a ranger that everyone hated for one season because he was supposedly the child insert character, and everyone hated it.
Yeah, because then when he morphed, he became an adult man.
Yep. And the last one is Michael Coupon, who was Time
Who
Ranger
can
Blue.
get you some great deals.
He can get you some good deals.
Which is the joke I make every time I hear that name.
It would be great if all of he did the Kohl's thing where all of his autograph prices are like marked up and then put on sale for like what they actually are because it's a coupon. You get the Michael coupon.
I wonder if the Erica Schroeder 4Kids Luffy goes up to like Stephanie Young, current Nico Robin, is like, yeah, we're both One Piece, and then she's like,
It's like,
yeah,
no.
not really
Not
though.
really.
he's like, I was in One Piece too. Okay,
Josh,
I've never heard of you. Like the Homer meme.
Josh, I was wrong. I should have scrolled slightly further down on the list. Jason Font is there. Time Ranger Red. Okay, so we have
So I was right.
Brandon Rogers, who I'm almost
Oh, Brandon Rogers. That's
Has Been Hotel,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's the picture behind him.
No, not Has Been Hotel. Hell of
He
a
is.
Boss.
He is. Oh yeah.
He's
Okay, maybe
Blitz.
that is.
He's Blitz.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. This actually has got me excited. They added a bunch of names to this, apparently. Tim Seeley, who's a comic guy. We're getting into the comic guys.
Yeah.
We have James O'Barr
Okay.
to sign a bunch of Crow comics.
You had got to do something with the flop of that movie.
Well, you know. Greg Land, he is a comic artist who heavily relies on tracing over
Oh yeah.
a particular type of art.
He's the one that did the Spider Woman butt shot that was
Yeah, that's
real
one of 'em.
famous for the wrong reasons.
That's one of them, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy traces porn.
I was avoiding saying that on air, but
you
yes.
said the quiet part out loud. Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. Why is Ralph Macchio in the writers section instead
I was
of
wondering that as well.
Yeah, the Karate Kid.
Yeah. He's also going to be in the new one.
He is.
With and which is weird because now they're combining the franchises.
Yes, they are. Well, that's fine. I'm
Yeah,
actually cool with that.
I mean, I know I saw like in one of the more recent trailers, there's like a framed picture of like Miyagi on the wall, and I got a little sad.
There are a bunch of celebrity cosplayer or like well-known cosplayers that are going to have booths.
Is Night Mage going to be there?
I haven't gotten that far on the list. He might be.
Because he goes to like everything.
He goes to everything. But this guy, I think, might be my new favorite. His name is Shaggy Saber Smith. He looks like Jacked Shaggy,
Who's also a Jedi.
who's also a Jedi.
Oh, so he's the Padawan that gets killed by Grievous in the Gendy Tartakovsky animated Clone Wars.
Yep, basically. But no, that's it. I mean, there are a few more on there, and I'm sure we'll talk about it, in the upcoming weeks.
Who's podcaster Holly Frey?
That's a great question. I'm not necessarily familiar with her.
Co-author of Killer Cocktails, Dangerous Drinks Inspired by History's Most Nefarious Criminals.
Okay.
I've actually heard
I've heard of
that.
that. I've heard of
Stuff
that
You
book.
Missed in History Class, Criminalia, and Full of Sith podcasts.
That's pretty good.
Full of Sith. That's a good
That's
name.
also- that's a good
a
name.
good name for a Star Wars podcast.
Yep.
But podcast guests, huh?
Where's
Where's our
Yeah.
invitation?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, where? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
That's
do
what I'm
one.
getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We do one.
We're doing it right now.
Yeah. God. All right, let's jump into some news.
Oh, yeah, news.
It's a lot of real quick hits.
Yeah, it's not a lot of meat to a lot of this stuff.
So first up,
you want to just lump all the Netflix stuff together? 'Cause
Yeah,
there's
let's do it.
multiple Netflix
Let's do it.
things.
It's Netflix time.
in Netflix time.
That sounded more like Law and Order, but still.
Dun, dun,
dun 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 dun.
Wow, wow,
I watched
wow.
a million hours of the original Law and Order.
Everyone has watched a million hours of Law and
Jerry
Order.
Orbach is the best cranky detective. You would never believe watching the old Law and Orders that he was also the voice of Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast.
I always forget about
Yes,
that.
yeah, that's right. That's right. So Neil Gaiman, surrounding the whole sexual
Abuse
allegations.
We're not going to talk about it here, but look
Nope,
it up
look
if
it up.
you want to. It's bad.
It's going to make you sad, and it's gross.
It's
Yeah.
not great, but Sandman is not getting its second season.
Nope. Netflix has dropped it.
They're
and
dropping
no
him.
longer doing a season 2 of Sandman.
Which I'm fine with. I didn't like the first season very much. It's not for me. I'm sure it's very good for a lot of folks, but it's very
the
much not for
comics
me.
were good. They were
Yes.
so good, and
I'm
it makes
not-
me sad.
I always wanted to read them, but not anymore.
No,
No.
not so much. The Devil May Cry anime has they
It's got
released the
bang-
intro.
It's got a banger opening. I'm not
It's
gonna
great.
lie.
They used Limp Bizkit
Yeah.
for the actual intro.
The theme song is Limp Bizkit's Rollin', which sounds terrible.
It works.
but actually works so good.
rules.
because they're doing classic Dante,
Yeah.
and not like reboot Dante.
Wahoo
Nobody-
Woohoo Pizza Man Dante.
Nobody talks about the reboot Dante.
Nobody.
They've made games since then that have thrown that all out.
Yeah.
Although I will die on the hill that game is actually not that bad.
It's bad, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do, now I'm thinking of another Simpsons meme. Why doesn't my Devil May Cry look like that?
But the anime looks really good. It's done by the same folks who did the Castlevania series. So it's Adi Shankar
and Blood of Zeus.
which Adi Shankar, if you've seen him if you've heard
Yeah.
it, listen to him talk for 5 seconds, you'll know why they picked Limp Bizkit for the intro.
Oh, that was my other check it out. I watched
Yeah.
the second season of Castlevania Nocturne.
Oh, nice. Not to steamroll
Yeah,
over that,
no,
but
no,
we'll
no,
get
no,
that
it's
next.
fine.
We'll
It's
get that
next-
next week. It's
next
all good.
week, yeah.
We got too much here.
Yeah.
What were some of the other Netflix stuff?
The Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you using my subscription money to make this? Who wants
You
this?
can't have new ideas. Everything has to be a remake or reimagining of.
Who
Oh, what if it's gonna be like a trashy like?
who is calling for the prairies though? Like what?
No. Here, what if they're trying to make an edgy?
No one would like it.
No, everyone's gonna hate it. But I feel like that would be
Riverdale style little
the,
cross on the Harry.
not even Riverdale. Just like just something that's just too serious, too
Dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to say there wasn't drama in the original.
No.
I've seen a
It'll be the Winx Club version of
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
God, that series is so bad. It's like they wanted to be Euphoria with magic.
Yeah.
but it's not very good. Though I think it came out before Euphoria, but it's got that same feel.
It's just such a genre that nobody's asking for. I feel
Yeah,
like.
no.
I don't think so. Although I will say, if they did it like Riverdale with weird stuff popping up everywhere, I'm in.
like Wendigos and other kind of stuff they might find out there in the untamed West.
Yeah, half pint fighting against demon monsters by playing
Make it a
old
weird
D&D.
Make it a weird West.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
I never read Little House on the Prairie, but I did read Little House in the Big Woods when I was in school.
Okay. Yeah. See, we read Little House on the Prairie.
All I
going through school.
remember of it is that the kids play with an inflated pig's bladder as a toy, and that grossed me out so much as a kid that I remember it now.
Yeah.
They made us read Hatchet.
Yeah.
Yep.
and,
Hatchet.
and like my
Those are pretty good.
and like my side of the mountain or whatever
Never
it is.
read that. We did The Giver.
Never did The Giver.
I thought My Side of the Mountain was boring.
Oh, it's so boring.
It was bad.
Such a boring book.
Hatchet was good though.
Hatchet is good, but yeah, My Side of the Mountain was such a boring book. And then I had 3 years of them trying to make me read the same Egypt young adult novel.
Oh, nice.
The Golden Goblet.
Okay.
I read it in the 6th grade. We read it in the 7th grade, and then my 8th grade English teacher tried to get us to read it, and we all, as a collective group in the class, all went out and goes, we've read this book 2 years in a row. Pick a different book.
Wuthering Heights. We did Wuthering Heights, and I can't stand Heathcliff. I love the Heathcliff comic about the yellow cat. I can't stand Heathcliff from Wuthering Heights. And I wish, since we're on this topic, I wish Jordan were here because she has very strong negative opinions of Heathcliff. Oh, gosh, yeah. Oh, and last book, this wasn't one that we were forced to read, but back, do you remember Book It? Do you remember you had to, or like the reading points you had to read and then take a short,
that was
question.
Accelerated Reader.
Accelerated Reader, that's what it was.
Yes.
So what I would always do is every 9 weeks we'd have to, get like 25 points. So I would go down the list and find the books that had 25 points, so I only had to do it once. Mm-hmm. That's how I read Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula Le Guin. That was fine.
I read a quarter of Lord of the Rings and then just guessed on all the questions. and I did. I
get enough.
I got all the points. So.
Yeah, I think I had to take. I just randomly took a test on the Silmarillion, and I think I got like 45 points.
Silmarillion
like that.
sucks.
Yeah, well, I didn't read it. I just guessed.
I hate that book. I like Tolkien, but he's super dry.
It's
incredibly dry.
And the Silmarillion is the driest book because it is literally
it's a textbook.
It's a history textbooks of Middle Earth. It's terrible.
It's such a founding text for fantasy that you can just guess the most basic thing you can think, and that'll be what it is because he invented it.
He invented the trope. He invented the trope.
Last thing I think we should mention, because it was in the intro and we got to mention it, Nintendo has been putting out a lot of like life-size...
not Nintendo.
Pokemon Company. Yeah, I know. I get those mixed up sometimes. But they've been putting out plushes, stuffed animals of a lot of their Pokemon in life-size.
That Snorlax beanbag bit is the
Snorlax
best.
beanbag was great. There was a Lucario a while back that I remember.
Pretty upsetting.
That was not great. But all the promo photos of like the model. The model along with it, like taking it out on a lunch date and like being weird about it. It was kind of great. But they are doing a Gardevoir,
which is going to be creepier than the Lucario. Well, I mean, it is creepier than Lucario.
Well,
they showed pictures of it.
Yeah.
Gardevoir is one of the few woman-shaped Pokemon that there are.
She is lady-shaped.
And the internet does what the internet does with it.
Yeah, not getting to get into that too much. However, yes, it is weird. Also, I didn't know Gardevoir was like 4 foot. That's a tall.
I thought it was
like 3 foot.
I thought it was bigger. I always assumed it was like adult human size.
You would hope it's adult human size based on the internet.
Going back and like looking at like the stats of Pokemon, like in the Pokedex.
Yeah.
And then like going back and watching like the Ash Pokemon stuff. Mm-hmm. Ash should not have been able to pick up some of these Pokemon because they would have been way too heavy. That's why I think Ash is possibly half Pokemon. No, I'm serious. He is too strong.
Mr. Mime.
Exactly.
The son of his human mother and Mr. Mime.
Yes.
Hey, from all those Pokemon leaks from some of the previous games, those
writing
exercises, humans and Pokemon are compatible.
No, we're not getting into this.
Especially before.
No. Well, but yeah. Oh, well, there was the story of the what's the the fire type Typhlosion. There was an extended story about a human and a Typhlosion. I'm not going to get into it here, but it does exist, and it is semi-official from.
I mean, it was
Pokemon
from
Company.
Writing exercises that the Pokemon Company did internally to try to come up with
ideas.
With like myths.
Yes.
Like the myths and legends we have that have that kind of weird stuff.
They have that weird vibe. Yeah.
Like
they're like yokai. Yeah.
They're like Greek mythology.
Yes,
there's a bunch of
Pokemon.
Weird stuff that goes on in there.
Well,
it's same kind of thing.
Same kind of thing. Anyway, life-size Gardevoir, I'm sure it's going to sell out immediately.
Oh, yeah. And it's cringy in the fact that it's going to happen.
Yep. Oh, well. Hey, Pokemon Company, they are a small indie developer that is really hurting for money, you guys. They got to do what they can.
They're staffed like an indie developer.
Well, that's very true. The way they release their games, they're like an indie development sometimes.
I'm so glad they didn't do one this year.
They needed a year.
Yeah.
Although I'm looking forward to the
new Legends
the
game.
new Legends game
Yeah.
where it's you're basically building the Paris, France of Pokemon, which is kind of awesome. Well, we have actually hit time, guys. Believe it or not, we have rambled our way through an hour, so we should wrap things up. You have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
I hope you like content about Dave's video.
You can find all our socials at links.nerdoverload.com.
You can send us an email, staff@nerdoverload.com, or give us a call on the Nerd Overload hotline. The number for that's 412-345-1413. Leave us a message about what life-size Pokemon plushie you want.
Listen, if you can count to 5, you're 3/4 of the way to our phone number, so we got it. You can find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Big things coming up on YouTube soon. I keep teasing it. It's going to happen. Finally, I'd like to thank Parker for helping us out finding some news articles for the week, and David Pencil for our intro and outro. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
If you could have any life-size Pokemon plush, what would it be?
Farfetch'd.
You can buy a plushie of a duck if you really wanted.